Okay, so this is a training on how to do down payment assistance. Okay, so first and foremost, I would say while I'm waiting for Encompass to load, um, things that you can write down, or there's a couple different down payment assistance programs. Okay, so Seth, 5 star, also go to, okay. So number one, here's where I send people. This is where I do 99% of the down payment loans I do through TSAHC. Okay, the TSAHC, it's for teachers, firefighters, EMS personnel. So if anybody ever asks, do you have a special loan for a teacher or a firefighter, we always say yes. Okay, because we do. Do we have any first-time homebuyer programs? Yes. Okay, things you can see on this website. 620. You have to have an AUS approval. There are some fees associated with that, so it's something to look at. It shows you here, and it kind of gives you some guidelines here. Okay, this is down payment assistance. They also have something called a mortgage credit certificate. It helps by reducing DTI. It also is a tax credit, so like they get like $1,500 or $2,000 in tax credits. Like basically their tax refund will be higher every year they have the loan. So it's a good program. A lot of this is driven by income. So a tool you're going to want to do if you're on the TSAHC website is go here. You can take the eligibility quiz. Okay, you walk through this. That way you make sure you don't, like, it's based on income and it's based on how many kids you have. And it's based on the county, based on purchase price, things like that. So you just want to, that eligibility quiz is super helpful. Okay. Then here it clearly shows you the rates, right? This is set by everybody. It's the same for every lender. So, you know, like when people ask about the rate, I'm like, hey, the state of Texas is setting. It's not us. So like, this is the rate. If you want 3% down payment assistance, that's 3% of the loan amount. So if the purchase price was 225, putting
Three
three and a
percent
half
of the
percent.
loan amount or the purchase price?
I've always known it as 3% of the loan amount. Okay, and it's the base loan amount. That's my understanding. I don't do enough down payment assistance. I could be a little wrong on that, but I always go the safe route, and I quote them 3% of the base loan amount. So that would be you'd get $6,500. A 225 purchase price, 3.5% down, get 6,500 on the 3% down program or the 3% down payment assistance. Okay, this is the one I sell the most. Okay, you can do this program, but look here, you have to keep the loan for 3 years, and it's a second lien. I've never done one ever. I do not know how to do it. Marcel has done one, so I typically, if I'm going to sell it, I sell this one. Okay, because I know how to do it and I've done it before. I'm not a huge fan of down payment assistance. Okay, these are harder loans, harder borrowers, so you just got to make sure you're going into the situation. You're going to want to spend more time really pre-proving them because people that are doing down payment assistance are typically going to be operating on a little bit tougher stage of their life, and it's like there's nothing wrong with that person, but it's just understanding like typically when I do down payment assistance, there's a lot of things that pop up in the last week. That you got to see. You just got to be like ready to hold someone's hand all the way through the process. Not. So that's just food for thought. Okay. It does say here there are some additional fees charged based on credit score. So that's something you want to make sure you do. And there's also $700 in fees anytime you do it. It's a $500 fee and then another $200 fee. You need to make sure you disclose that. So make sure you note that before you send disclosures on bond loans. Let me know so then we can include that. Okay.
So this
Uh,
is considered a bond loan?
yeah. Well, technically bond, grant, it's all kind of falls in the same group. This says non-bond, but in terms of like loan officer speak, sometimes I kind of use them interchangeably. But technically, it's not a bond because I think a bond you have to pay back or something like that. Maybe I don't honestly know the difference. So I just call it down payment assistance. For purposes, just call it that. Okay. So this is a website you can go to. You also have the Seth 5 star program. I'm not as big of a fan on this because I believe you have to keep it longer. Okay. I do not do this one. Like it's you have to keep it for 3 years. Always, I think it seems like. Now, it does say there's some options on conventional, so that might be another reason to potentially look at this one. But I don't do it. So like this is a good one to look at. You can also go to this website here and go to public side. Where's the matrix? I would do matrix. You search the peak, there is a place. I think where it says like the different people we're approved with. I think we're only approved with TSAHC and SF. There are a couple other grant programs in the state of Texas. I usually don't do anything else, so I don't really look at it. But state disclosure, no, maybe it's not disclosure. There's somewhere on here where it tells you you can go, you can find out like there's other loans. I can't find it right now. You could search the peak or you could search the email product training. Okay, but in my experience, you're probably going to be doing either SEF or this. People talk about it. Okay, we do a lot of the MCC program. I'm a big fan of that. I think it's a great program. Down payment assistance, we do them. It's just I think it's a better. I think I don't do that often. Okay. All right, now let's go to this one. Okay, so this is a loan we got going right now. Look at that, 56.89. It's really high DTI. We're going to get it through. And she got 745 credit. Okay. So that's good. Okay, so how you would set it up. Number one, you got to go to the page one. You got to put gift source government assistance. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Page one. Okay. Then go to page two. BOD. You're going to label it as the 4% TSAHC grant. And that way everybody knows what's going on. Okay. So we go 4% TSAHC here, 4%, rate at 3.25. Rate at 3.25, right? Matches. And 13,110. Let's see what they did here, which is yeah. So it looks like they did it 4% based on the total loan amount. I mean, it's gone through underwriting, so maybe it is that. Okay. So you plug that in right there. You see that? Then remember we just did this training yesterday, Ryan. You got it. Where do you go next? You're doing any type of
The FHA HUD transmittal.
That's right. Yep. Now, I'll just go here, and see how it matches. Those numbers must match. TSAHC is you put the government button and you type in the number.
Okay.
Now, my understanding was I thought you had to put gifts total, but I've gotten varying answers on this. Sometimes it says gifts total, sometimes it's gifts not deposited. I would, if I were you, go ahead and check with training and compliance before you send disclosure. This one went through, but I know for a fact we had an issue with that one time. Marcel may know more about it. I don't do enough down payment assistance to know, but I know that is an issue. There's something, I thought it was supposed to be gifts total. But I think you said you just went through training recently and said gifts not deposit, so I could be wrong, okay? But that is where you plug it in, okay? The last thing is there is a website, okay? Lauren, your processor, is going to handle this, so you really don't have to get too involved in it, but you are going to have to reserve the lock once you do it, okay? So, passwords, TSAHC. Here we go. Here's the website. There's my password. Okay. Over to you. Okay.
Is you would lock it through that website, the loan?
Right. It's called a reservation. Technically. Okay. So I'm going to get out of here so Justin can do it. But there is a website you go to, and then you go through the process of reserving. So what I would say is right now, your focus is on pre-approving people, right? So you will use what I gave you on the TSAHC website, and you will use what I gave you on Encompass to determine if we can pre-approve it. If you run AUS and it hits, you're good. You issue the pre-approval, okay? Then if you get an actual contract, me and you will do disclosures the first time together, and then we'll also reserve the loan together. But right now, that's not really where you're at in the process. I think